So, you want to know my story? The story of why I became a vigilante. Well, let me take you back. Go back to a young Izuku Midoriya, as a child. Mm, when life was simple, when life was fun. Most male children usually live simple lives when they were young. But that happiness only lived up to the age of 4. Once that premium lifetime passes, well, it's done. Once Izuku's sister, once, the, once his sisters figure out their quirks, it was already over. Izuku's sisters, Izumi and Izuki, along with their friends, not Izuka, Kasumi, along with Shoga. Those three were best friends and the strongest girls of the school, along with Dinka. And there's me, my quirkless self, with my 4 friends. Well, yeah. There was Katsuki, Shoto, and Dinky. The reason why we all call each other by our first names is because we see each other more as family than anyone else. We were raised to be seen as useless, weak, incompetent, foolish, non-useful humans. Shit, we weren't even seen as humans. Of course, yeah, you wouldn't know nothing about that, Nezu. Anyways, throughout our lives, me and my brothers, we grown close. We were the best friends. We did everything together. We got beaten together. We were slaved together. We cleaned together. We did everything together. Because in the end, that's all we had. Kaski, he was our fighter. He was the one that always kept pushing us to keep going with our lives. Shoto, he was our doubter. Every friend group, there's always one person that doubts everyone's abilities, even his own. Of course, Shoto. Shoto was not Shoto. Kaski would smack him up on his head every time he tried to doubt everyone else. It was fun. Dinky, he was our goofster. He always kept everyone above us. But in the end, it just didn't go well. During each grade of middle school, each of my friends died. Through 6th to 8th. In 6th grade is when Shoto died. Shoto got pissed off because one of the girls were flirting with him, trying to use him like the breed dog that people think we are. They dragged him away, but when he kicked one of them, they got so angry that they just burned him to death. And the 3 other girls made us sit there and watch as they burned him. Me and my friends cried. That was when I lost my first brother. Of course, my oldest one had to go first. Then I lost my second brother, Dinky. The women in our school didn't like how he kept every male's hopes high. They didn't like how he always kept everyone happy. Of course, the happy ones are always the saddest ones, so he always hid his true emotions. But one day, one of the girls thought that, hey, let's play a trick on Dinky. Dinky always liked this one girl, simply because this one girl was always pretending to be nice to him. Something that most women do. They pretend to be nice, then boom, break your heart. Dinky fell for it. Once she got him alone, they jumped him. They jumped him and beat him. Snuck into the office of the principal. Turned on the speakers and allowed everyone, every single male, even I, to hear his screams. On that day is when I decided to become a fighter. The moment I heard his screams, I stood up from my desk and ran out the classroom. I ran up. I ran to the principal's office, soaring through every single whore and bitch in the hallway. Once I arrived, I kicked down the door and I just saw them beating up on Dinky. Shit, they weren't even beating down on him. He was dead at the point. His the face on the skin on his face burnt. And his legs sore and teared through cuts. Seeing this, it pissed me off. One of the girls tried to walk up to me and say that, hey, it was just all a joke. But I didn't even give her the chance. I grabbed her face. And I immediately punched her straight into a wall. And I just started slamming her head straight into that wall. No remorse. Another girl, the one that's been cutting Dinky open with her blade arms, she tried to jump in. The moment she jumped in, and I used the other girl as a shield, so she pierced her chest. She pierced the girl's chest. I pulled the girl's corpse in, making the other girl with the blade arms come in, and I grabbed her by the neck, and I just started punching her, and punching her, beating her face into the ground. Her screams could be heard on the radio, not the radio, but the speakers. Everyone heard the screams. People would come in and try to stop me, but they just couldn't get me off. I just kept beating a bitch ass down. I don't know why. I just felt enjoyment. 'Cause throughout my life, I was the one in my group. I was the one. I was what my friends called, what Shadow called, the sexist one. Oh, I'm missing. But yes, he always called me sexist simply because I hated women. I hated them for what they done to us, for how they treated us. But I see nothing wrong with it. Women use us as breeding dogs. I was used 5 times. During my school year. During my 6th grade year, I was used 5 times. Each one of them used me during a different time. Then again, I think one of them got pregnant. Who knows? Not my problem. But simply though, since now I'm in 7th grade, man, I don't care. I just kept beating her down. I just kept punching her into the ground. Until eventually, she passed. But I didn't stop. I just kept punching. I didn't know when to stop. I didn't know how to stop. I just kept going. Until a teacher knocked me out. That's when they decided to punish me before they sent me off to a male supporting camp. They handcuffed me, put me in regular cuffs. My sister, my sister and her friends all looked at me. They're all smiling and grinning. Even one I thought that I liked, Shoka. But oh well. They decided my punishment. I, I didn't know what they would use to punish me since I didn't really care about nothing. Then it hit me. No, no. They brought out my beaten friend. They brought out Shoto. Wait, which one did I say was alive? I'm so stupid. Damn. Shit, they didn't kill him. I killed all of them off already, damn. I was gonna bring one of them back. Oh well, let me just continue on. They decided to try and destroy they brought out everything that me and my friends hold dear to. Our journals. The journals I use to analyze heroes. Specifically, it was only male heroes from before quirks happened. Like Martin Luther King and many others. Basically, during those times whenever I felt sad, I'd go back and look at historical figures, male historical figures. I never blamed any females that would of what happened before quirks. I only blamed ones after quirks. Because humans still feel emotion and yet they still do us this way. They burnt everything that I hold dear to. My journals, my photos, everything I've had of my friends. They burnt it. And then threw me into a car. Once they threw me in, they took me away. But I didn't let it happen. While we was driving through a dark forest, I was just looking out the window. Then suddenly, Katsuki's floating image of in front of me, it just showed up. It was Katsuki looking down at me, disappointed. Then there was Shoto looking at me. No, he's not even looking at me. He's in the corner of the car, staring at the wall, all hitting his head. And then there's Dinky, bloodied and beaten. The rage, the anger that I felt. Though none of you bitches laugh at me, I used an AI to create the abilities. So Izuku was just feeling so angry. I was feeling so pissed off of what they've done. All I've done was stood up for my friend, even though he was dead. Unconsciously, like I never noticed that the cuffs that were binding my hands burnt off. Everything around me started to heat up unnoticingly to me. The women in the car driving, they burned. The whole car ignited into flames. Once the car exploded, that's when I noticed and I looked around. I looked at my hands. They were on fire. It kind of looked like Shoga's fire, but then again it didn't. Because mine looked somehow more powerful. They were purple, no green, no black, no white. What the hell? I swiped my arm to the left, trying to get it off me. But then as soon as I did, an explosion erupted, blasting me backwards. Black flames blasted off my arms. Blasted off my arms with the explosion, sending me backwards into a tree. I got up and I was like, damn it, that hurt. What is going on with me? I started to panic, not knowing why or what is happening to me. But then again, all I could see is Katsuki, and Shoto smiling at me. I didn't know why, but I felt like the powers were connected to them. So then I then got up and walked away. When I finally figured out how to stop the flames, I calmed my mind. I didn't think. I just calmed my mind and started walking. As I was walking though, I took the first step and immediately my body, like lightning struck, came straight out of my body onto the electrical cords, and my body started moving along the cords. Once I started flowing through them, I can see everything perfectly, but my body's just zipping through the cords, or it's like I'm surfing on them. So as I'm going through the cords, I tried to jump off once I got back to the town, and I landed on the roof, scraping my face. I stood there for a minute in pain, but the flames healed me. I didn't know what this was or what was happening, but then I saw Dinky just smiling at me. That same smile always made us happy. I tried to hug him, but it didn't work. But all that crossed my mind. The moment that I thought of, wait a minute, I can't be here now. Once the heroes find me, they'll just send me back. No, they figure out about my powers. They'll use me as a weapon. They'll torture me until I submit. No. I fell down to my knees and started thinking of what to do. But luckily, I heard something. I heard a man scream on the side of the building that I'm currently standing on. So I walked to the edge and I see three women ganging up on two poor men. This has already pissed me off just at the sight of it. I can hear Bakugo. I can hear Bakugo's voice saying, oh, I might just be as sexist as you. I can't bear to see this. I can't bear to see them torturing men and do as they please. Why? Why should we suffer? What have we done? The moment we were born, the moment our lives were set. But you, Zuki, you have the power to change that, brother. Go down there and stop them. Don't just do it for yourself. Do it for us. Do it for all men. Men that stand in the side of this. Be a hope for men. Be the opposite of All Might. She is the symbol of female heroism. You can be the symbol of male heroism. Do this for us, Izuku. Shoto then appears, saying, "Come on, Izuku. I might have always doubted our abilities, but now look at you. Flames, explosions, and lightning. Who knew that you would get our sister's abilities? You got Shoka's, Katsumi's, shit, even Dinky's sister. But you don't got the weaknesses. You got this." As he fades away as well. Then Dinky shows up, laying his arm over Izuku. Even though it flows through him, he says, "Damn. Huh. Looks like I can't smack you in the back of the your head like I used to." Well, Izuku, look at it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that, Izuku. They're doing exactly what they tried to do to Shoto. It disgusts you, doesn't it? You just hate seeing it. Izuku's never heard Dinky speak like this. It's like Dinky's true emotions are being shown. Dinky just says, "Women. Women, women, women. They always use us. They always seemingly just love to abuse us. I was nice. I was kind. I did everything I was told to. I respected everyone. All I did was want to cheer everyone up. And yet they killed me simply because of that. You can't be nice to people, and you can't be mean to them. So what can you do? Simple effect. Get them to respect you. Get them to know what it's like to be on the weaker end, Izuku. I put my faith in you, and I put my quirk genes into you." Now let me explain what his quirk is real quick. Izuku's quirk essentially allows him to make bonds with people. The moment that he makes a bond with someone and they die, he replicates the genetic powers of the deceased friends, and so he can use their abilities and even strengthen them. The abilities immediately get strengthened up to their full potential. It's like Shoko's quirk. Her quirk is basically Phoenix of flame, and ice. So no matter what, he will be back, and he will only die at old age. Now Bakugo's power, our king of the damn. I'm not even gonna make up a name for explosion, bro. What's the point of making a name for this explosion quirk, bro? I was about to say like king of the damn. I'm fucking everything up too, bro. Fuck that shit. Anyways, in our dinkies, I guess I can make it shit. Zeus's true sparks. Basically, you can do anything with lightning. Basically. I'm not even gonna go through all that. Now back to the story. Once Dinky fades away, Izuku basically just falls down. Izuku falls down and lands. Izuku doesn't care who sees his face. He doesn't care who knows who he is. Izuku's only focus is to protect those who need it. So he walks up to these females saying, ganging up on two poor men isn't such a nice thing. After all, you have quirks and they don't. Oh, doesn't that make you a weakling? The girls can turn around and says, "Oh, another weak male. Ooh, this one's cute. You know what? Hey, I'll let these two go if you come with us." Zukino says, I won't be doing that. But although I'll make sure I give you to someone. Then said who? Zukino says, who else other than that? I mean, people like you deserve it, after all. Then says, do you really think that you can kill us? One of them then puts their hands on fire. Another one then wraps themselves up in the water shield. Another one just makes their hand cactuses. Zukino says, really? Is this all you have against me? Zukino starts walking towards them. He doesn't know why he's so confident, but he is. So Zuko starts walking towards them. The girl at the fire court tried to shoot at Izuku, but the moment that she does, Izuku appears behind her. He then softly places his hands on her back and says, "Spine cracker." And, and immediately he shoots a whole explosion through her chest. Yes, all her internal organs and everything could just blast out. Just out in the open. As she falls down to the ground, she burns her own corpse. Izuku looks at the other two females, those who are backing away, but Izuku says, no, no, no. He just snaps his fingers, and an ice wall appears behind him. Izuku says, yes, you see, I hate people like you. Well, I hate you people in general. I hate women, of course. But it's just women like you. Women like you are the ones I hate the most. Women like you are the ones I just want to kill. The ones I just want to rip your tongues out. Replace all the appendages of your body and just, I just hate you. I want to sever all the meat of your body, just give it out to the dogs. But then again, that'll take too much time, too much effort, and too much work. So just die. Izuku then places his hand out in front of him. 2 fingers. And just shoot 2 short beams at them. Their chests both of their chests had got impaled by the ice spear, flame spears, and their corpses imbued with flames, burning their corpses. Izuku just stares. Izuku then turns around and looks at the 2 males who are backing away, scared, wondering what Izuku's going to do to them. But Izuku just smiles and leaves at them and says, "You're free now." He then walks to them and places his hands on their heads. Not knowing what he's doing, he just wishes to heal them, because they're already wounded. But the moment he places his hand on their heads, green flame sparks up. Green light flames. And they heal. The bald guy on the left and says, I feel so much more energetic. What did you do to me? Zuko says, I don't know. The guy that says I had cancer, but I don't feel weakened no more. I feel like I'm still a young man. Thank you. The guy that starts crying and pleading to me. But I just smiled and walked away. I didn't know what I'd done, but I was just happy I was able to help him. So throughout that time, I did nothing but help people. My face was everywhere, of course, because I didn't care who saw me. My sisters, well, the strangers I lived with and their friends already saw me. My old school saw me, my own prison. I was unstoppable, basically. No one was able to get to me. Because I had range, defense, offense, close range. I was basically, all in one. I was a DLC. See, in one of those female main character games. Of course, they couldn't make nothing for males. Ugh. So, anyways, once I finally gotten free, once I finally got bored, I just walked around the street, thinking about what to do now. I didn't know what to do. I was simply just bored. Everyone recognized me and saw me. Just call. They would always call the heroes, no matter how many times they see me, knowing that I've beat nearly every hero already. But at the end of the road, I saw All Might, Endeavor, Ever, and Hawks. Now I was disappointed to see them, simply because I didn't even like none of them. And then I saw the worst of them all, Inka, telekinesis. Zuka says, "Oh, it's you." Inka says, "Boy, oh boy, the failure, finally, the failure. Let me know this now. How did you get powers that they had to call me in? Me of all people." Since in this world, Inko is actually the number one hero. Since people with telekinesis powers are really just underrated. Zuka says, "Don't worry about that." She also says, "How did you get powers? How did you get quirks?" Zuka says, "Nah, that's none of your business. After all, you're a stranger." She says, "I am your mother." Zuka says, "My mother died when I was 4, when my sisters gained their quirks. You are a stranger that forced me to live with her and allowed her children to beat me senseless. Do you really think that I'd go back? Do you think that I care for you and your children? Do you really think that I won't kill you if I could? I despise you. I despise all of you. I hate you. I just wish that you die. Die like your damn children would. I need all of you dead. Dead. Damn, I'm not finna do all that dramatic shit." But as Zuko didn't burst into flames. Endeavor, who's the only one that can withstand the flames since Suzuki's not going all out, and says, "Boy, I'm sure that you and my daughter used to be friends. Why don't you and her get together? You know, I'm sure used to have a crush on her." Zuko says, "You mean that whore? The one that raped me 2 times?" Yes, "I despise her the most." Who's only side note to ink on her children. That bitch can die for all I care for. All Might then says, Arya says, "Kid, listen, you don't have to do this. Just come to UA and we can all have a nice chat." Izuku says, "Do you really think that I would go to a school full of females, full of women, full of whores that just want to use me? You do realize that I've been raped like 5 times in one day, no day, in 1 month during my middle school year. Of course you would know that. No one cares about the girls until they know, until they have quirks, until they have the only thing that makes a human reasonable in your eyes." Oni says, "No, we don't. Oh, we know that you're reasonable." Izuku says, "Really, All Might? So what about that guy right there?" Izuku then points to the side. Like, and, and she then sees a guy. She sees a guy that is bleeding, missing an arm, with arm and leg. She says, he'll be fine." She says, "We'll save him later." Zuka says, "Oh, really? Then what about her?" He points to a female on the other side of the street with the same injuries. All Might then rushes towards her, saying, "Lady, are you okay?" Until the lady bursts into flames, sending All Might backwards. Zuka says, "Seriously? You'll go straight to her, but you wouldn't go after the man right there?" As the man also bursts into flames. Says, "They were not even real. They were just made of my quirk. Like, see? This is the thing I despise about you women. You view feminine lives over male lives. See, I don't really care about all that. A life is a life. A human is a human. See, people go and they hunt, they eat, right? No matter what. But you don't think before you do, don't you? You think that simple. I'm a female. I have a quirk. I'm superior to this male who is the same race as me, just not the same gender as me. So I'm superior because I have this and he does not." That's the way that I think you women view us. See, I don't care about that though. I will kill all of you right now if you don't get out of my way. I don't know. Izuku then starts off his flames and started walking towards them, saying, I don't care about you. I don't care about women. I don't care about how you view me. But I will cleanse this world of feminine heroism. I will prove to you that men can also be heroes. I don't need a license to save a life. I don't need someone's approval to save a life. What? A hero is a hero off of instinct, not what other people views. Izuku, Izuku said all this, but then he felt a hand on his shoulder, and immediately he passed out. Now this is simply for the plot. It was midnight. Madden says, this cutie really talks a lot, doesn't he? When Izuku woke up, he seen himself stripped naked and used. Izuku says, see, I knew women would do this to me. This is why I hate women. And then he forges himself some clothes using this quirk, which shocks the person that just walked in, Nezu. And that's where the story continues. And now you know my story, Nezu. Nezu says, okay. Now what I need to realize is that how did you use your quirk even though you have a quirk even though you have quirk or removal gloves, removal cuffs? Zuko says, oh, it's simple. My quirk doesn't allow me to use these abilities. My quirk only allows me to use the abilities of dead brothers and sisters. Well, just brothers. Brothers, since I don't have no sisters. It allows me to use the dead friends' genetics. I copied them. You see, Katsuki, Shoto, and Dinky didn't have a quirk. But then again, and the reason why females have quirks is because we still carry the genetics of quirks. We still carry every quirk cells. So by replicating those cells, so since I replicated those cells so much, I gained their quirks. The quirks they would have had if they had enough cells. Which is why I have the abilities and they did not. They would have had the same abilities as their sisters. But my quirk allowed me to upgrade them. Nezuko says, oh, I see. Well, young Midoriya. Izuku says, don't call me that. Just call me often. Says, what? Nezuko says, what? Izuku says, me and my brothers didn't like going by the names of our families. The families that tortured us. Would you? Nezuko just looks to the side saying, no, I wouldn't. Who says, good. Don't call me Izuku often. Says, okay, Izuku often. Now, what do you want to say, rats? Nezuko says, listen, you have two choices. Either come to UA or go to jail. Izuku says, go to jail. Nezuko is shocked because, he didn't think Izuku would refuse this. He says, are you sure you want to? Izuku says, I am 100% sure. Absolutely. Indubitably sure. Sure, I am 100% sure. I do not want to go to that school. I tell you this, if I go to that school, I'm going to kill every bitch there. I will. Scene cuts, Izuku's walking down the halls. Izuku's walking through the halls. All the female students are looking at Izuku, but he just ignores them all. Since this is technically the first day of school, since Izuku's been doing this all during the 10 months, all the people are whispering, Izuku, isn't that the guy that was found to have killed 359 women in 1 week? Girl's like, yeah, girl, you should have seen him. You should have seen him, bro. You should have seen him, girl. He was on camera. You should have seen how vicious he is. He's a monster. Also, he shouldn't even have a quirk. Everyone's just talking about Izuku, but he's just ignoring it. He expected this. He's glad that they fear him. Ignore that. He's glad that they fear him. He's glad that they won't come near him, and they know how dangerous he is. Once Izuku arrives to 1A, he walks in and immediately Izumi, right next front of him, tried to punch him. What Izuku notices though is that there's a green flash on her arm. It's like, what the hell? But he dodges and hits her straight in her gut. like, making her stumble back. Zugna says, "You still haven't gotten. You don't think that you really are that, Izumi." Izumi says, "Shut up. You're still a weakling. You're still a little boy who I beat every single morning until you submitted and cried like a little bitch." Zuko says you. He didn't kick her straight in the face, seeing her flying, and imprinted her ass into the wall. Zuko says, "Listen up," snapping his fingers. He says, "I don't care about none of you. I hate all of you. All of you can truly and absolutely go to hell. No, I don't want to conversate with you. I don't want to be around you. Anyone comes near me and thinks they can challenge me, go ahead and watch me end your pathetic, sad, useless lives." No one said nothing. Zuko says, "Good. At least you understand your place." And he sat down on the random desk in the back. And throughout that, Izuku did nothing. He stayed quiet. He said nothing to no one. The girls were bringing their siblings up, because, well, since they're in UA now, they're allowed to bring their tools. And their tools are their siblings, their brothers. And that's when Izuku saw, oh, Idra. Shit, I need to go look at all the students in UA again. Damn. This one Izuku saw Ijiro, Mino. Yes, Mina has a brother in this. And shit, no one else. Those are the only quirks that are quite useful. Shit, you know what? Injiko. Injiko is Uraka's brother. Yeah, her quirk is going to actually be very useful. So Izuku saw them, and he walked towards them. Like the girls are thinking they walking towards them, but Izuku walks directly right past them and looks at Ijiro, Mino, and Ijiko. I'm gonna say Ijiko. The moment that Izuku saw them, they're right next to each other. They're scared because they think that he's gonna hurt them. But the moment that he walked up to them, he wraps his arms around them and says, "You're not my brothers." They're like, "What? What?" They're like, "What?" Because they're trembling. And Izuku's arms is trembling. But then again, as soon as Izuku made contact with them and embraced them in a hug, they just felt warm. Now the girls, they're jealous because their brothers never did this to them. They never felt warm around them. They're always just trembling and being scared. But one hug from this guy, and now they're doing all this. Chaco grabs Injiko from Izuku's arms and says, "What are you doing? Why don't you act like that around me?" Grabbing his shirt and holding him in the air, saying, "Who do you think you are? You think that you're better than me? You think that being around another loser won't be nice to you, huh?" But the moment that she grabbed him like that, Izuku raised up his fist and punches her straight in her face, sending her into the ground. Izuku says, "Listen here. I claim these three as my new brothers. You dare touch them and you're touching me basically. I will kill each and every single one of you low-life bastards now. Do y'all make myself clear?" The moment Izuku said that, some of them shake their head yes, but one of them had other plans. Later on, when Izuku was walking with them until Ichiro said he's got to go to the bathroom. So he goes to the bathroom, and sadly enough, there was someone waiting for one of them. The moment he walked in, he got kicked into a wall, and some purple balls stick him into a wall. On a short midget female girl with pink hair, with purple hair with some balls at the end of them says, "Oh, look at this, a useless male." No, this this bathroom was made specifically for males for Izuku on that day that he arrived, and a few slaves that'll be joining. The bathroom is in horrible condition. So whenever Izuku wants, he just uses the female restrooms because that bathroom is in horrible condition. So he doesn't really care. Whenever he walks, I'm gonna explain what Izuku does when he walks into a female restroom. So Izuku just looks. It's not Izuku. Ijiro is just trembling. Says, "Please let me go." Well, Izuku is waiting for me. She just slaps him, saying, "I don't care what that green haired boy is doing. He'll have fun with him after I get done with the rest of you. But it seems like you'll be my first toy here. She then starts to unbutton him. And Zuko, off of instincts, walked in, then pushing right through every single female on his way that just screamed at him. As soon as Zuko walked in and he saw her unbuttoning his pants, Zuko just pushed her aside, puts on Kira's pants again. No diddy, no gay shit. He just puts his pants back on, zips them back up. He turns around, grabs Mineta by the head, grabs Minoru by the head, and takes her outside. After freeing Idril, he grabs her by the head and takes her outside. He holds her up in the air in front of everybody and says, "Everyone, please look at me." Everyone looks in his direction. Because Izuku never says please for anything. He just takes and gets what the fuck he wants. Because he doesn't care about nobody. Except his brothers and other males there. Izuku says, "This is what's going to happen when you mess with my brothers." He clenches Minoru's face. And her whole body turns orange before exploding. Her skin, Izuku only contacted the explosion into her skin, like Rexplode from Invincible. And he exploded her skin off of her body, leaving only her skeleton, her internal organs, and the acid in her body, which just hits the ground, melts in the ground, and shit like that. Izuku says, "Do I make myself clear?" while smiling. After he just killed a person. A girl then yells, "You shouldn't just kill her like that. She did nothing wrong." Zuko says she was about to use my friend in the restaurant. And I'm like, says, "And that's what happens to useless males." Zuko says, were you planning to do the same thing to anyone?" She says, "I've done it to 5 people here already." Zuko then points his hand at her and shoots her directly through her skull, saying, "I don't take lightly to people that think that you can just use us as property. Does anyone else want to speak up?" No one else spoke a damn word. No one said shit. They did not want to deal with Izuku. Izuku says, good. Because I was planning to kill every single one of you if you did. Izuku says, "Come on, brother." He grabs Kiri by the... He wraps his arm around Kiri's neck and takes him back to the other two. Izuku says in his head, "It seems like I found new brothers. Shoto, Dinky, Inky, and Katsuki. I hope all 3 of you are watching over me." As he smiles. So we now go to the training. To the heroes versus villain training arc, basically. Once we get there, it seems that everyone, and I mean everyone, is trying to partner up with Izuku. Knowing how powerful Izuku is, if anyone gets partnered up against him, it's guaranteed 100% defeat. So everyone's trying to partner up with Izuku, but then it's random. Izuku gets partnered up with Ochako again, where she is terrified because she's the only one that didn't want to partner up with him due to how hard he hit her head into the ground. Her face is still red from that, since he used a flaming fist, a flash fire fist that he copied from Endeavor. And his enemies are Katsumi and oh boy, Shoko. And Izumi and Izuki. Izuku says, "Huh? You're adding 4? Now see, I don't have a problem with that. I'm actually happy. But why are you adding 4? Izuku says, "Well, because of how strong you are, I think these 4 would be enough to take you down." Hearing this, Izuku burst into fucking laughter, bro. This nigga is laughing his complete ass off, bro. This nigga has no control of his laughter whatsoever. This nigga he's giggling uncontrollably, bro. He cannot hold his shit back no more. He is laughing like damn. His laughter echoes throughout the whole building. And just by hearing them say they could defeat him, this was hilarious. This was amazing for Izuku to hear. Izuku says, "I always took you for a clown, but not a jester." Oh Lord, that hurt. Oh Lord. He fell down to his stomach, still laughing and rolling on the floor. This is killing him. This is hilarious. Here's to Izuku. 30 minutes later, when Izuku got up, he felt, oh, that was a great laugh. Oh, that was a great laugh. Anyways, okay, what's the real reason? Says that was the real reason. I believe that they can challenge you. Izuku then starts laughing for another 30 minutes. Bro, this is absolute dude, comedy to Izuku. Another 30 minutes pass by and Izuku says, okay, you know what? I don't even care about the reason. Let's just go in before I start laughing again. So Izuku walks in since he's playing as the villain, since they want to make him look as evil as possible in the school. So Izuku gets inside and he's just grinning. Ochako's like, so what do we do? Izuku says, oh, you? Oh, this is what we do. He then pushes her out the window. As she uses her quirk, she says, what did you do that for? Zukin says, you're going to be useless during this entire fight, so I'm going to need you to, go into the roof and just stay there. Okay? Like a good girl. Now go. She says, you can't order me around. Zuko says, go, before I kill you like I did Minoru. Like I did Mineta. And I'm not saying her last name out of respect. I'm saying it out of disrespect. Now go. She then floats up to the top, Not wanting to get her, whole body disintegrated. So Zuko waited for a good 3 minutes until they arrive and says, finally, you're all here. Zuko then touches the bomb, making it be encased in ice. Black ice. The most durable ice on the planet. Zuko says, finally, you're here. Now, who should I fight first? Zuko says, fight first? We were finna fight all of us. Zuko says, oh, is that right? Okay, then let's go. So Shoka immediately slides in with her ice, going for a flash fire fist. But Izuku simply blocks with his bare hands. Even though he's burning, he just grins and starts wombo comboing her. Or as she jumped at him trying to do the flash fire fist, he caught it and just started punching the shit out of her, bro. Mid-air. He punched her 15 times while she was in the air for that 5-second count. And he spin and kicks her away like he's Gojo. Oh, doing some shit, bro. Oh, but not noticing how Kasumi was right behind him saying, you're just as weak as my brother. Hearing that, Izuku just stood still as she hit him with a whole explosion to his back. Only thing this did was tear off his shirt. The moment that Izuku turned around while his shirt was regenerating, since it's made out of his own flames, Izuku says, I will make sure that I pay everything tenfold. He then grabs her by the neck and says, look into my eyes and tell me what you see. As she looked into his eyes, she sees nothing. Nothing but torture and the pain that she has experienced. Everything that she is feeling. She is feeling everything that she has done to Katsuki alone. And it's only 10% of what she's done to him. Once she did, after 10%, after only seeing like a little bit of Katsuki's pain, she passes out. Suka says, weak bitch, can't even take 10%. He then threw her away to a wall. Says, who's next? It was Azuki. Azuki then tries to pick up Azuki with her telekinesis. But Azuki then turns into pure flames and says, you should try better than that. Then he turns back and then says, boom. She says, what? She looks behind her and sees that there's then she then sees, Katsuki. An image of Katsuki. Now I don't know if you read the abilities that I shown y'all, but if you see right here, which one is it? Memorial Mastery 5. If you can on the projection of these, a projection of them with their original powers they were supposed to have, offering additional support and strategies, blah blah blah. So if a fake image of Katsuki appears behind her, sending an explosion straight to her back, making her get flinged right towards Izuku. Izuku then smiles as his hand engulfs with black lightning. And he punches the shit out of her gut, bro. Well, since due to the momentum flying towards Izuku and the force of Izuku's punch increased by the black lightning, this fake ass black flash, she gets sent flying backwards. And I mean, she gets sent flying throughout the whole building, landing outside the building, crashing down, knocked out. Zuko says, weak bitch. Until Zuko feels that ice was coming towards him, although he just turns around and looks at it and it just melts on impact. Like the moment that it made contact with Izuku's body, it melts. She says, "You're hot." Then says, "No, no. How could your flames be stronger than mine?" Zuko says, "Simple, because I'm better." Better, and Shoto was also better. He then dashes right in front of her and hits her with a flaming uppercut. Now the flames that Izuku are using, he increased them so much that they turn into lightning, along with Dinky's additional lightning, making not only red and black flames, but not damn, I'm fucking up. Not only making red lightning, but black lightning too, hitting her ass with a straight up uppercut, sending her flying into the air. Her whole head is indented into the wall. Just her head, just her her head, from her neck down, you can see, but her head is just on the top of the building, just there, flinging. Hazuki says, "Now that's hilarious." This Looney Tune ass moment. Oh, this is hilarious. And then turns around, seeing as he got punched in the face. The moment he got punched, he says, "Huh, that felt stronger than before." Hmm. Then he looks at Izumi. Izumi, whose fist are on fire, still got lightning around. Zuko says, "Wait, that's not your quirk." He says, "What are you talking about?" Izuku says, "That's not your quirk." He says, "What do you mean?" Izuku then turns up the flames. Izuku says, he turns up the flames, burning all of the mics on the ears. They can still be seen, but they can't be heard. Izuku says, those aren't your flames. That's not your quirk." He then walks towards her and says, every quirk that has something to do with God in it, like my God, like my Phoenix quirk, which is basically a god. I can see quirk genes, and I can see that you have two quirk genes, two different types. One is green and one is red. Now your red one, that's your original one. The one you got from father, the flame breath. Remember, the one you got from his quirk genes. Man, Dad would have been so powerful if he had his quirk. And if only if that horrible mom of yours didn't kill him. Maybe me and him would have had fun times together. Shit, we could have just been out having father son moments if it wasn't for your bitch of a mom. Anyways, what is that other quirk? She says, "What are you talking about? I don't have another quirk." Izumi says, "What is the green one, Izumi?" "No, it's not green, it's purple. No, black. No, yellow. It keeps changing. Like it has multiple of it. What is it?" Now, says, "You don't need to worry about that." She then dashes in going to punch Izuku. But Izuku says, "If I don't gotta worry about it, I might as well just burn it." Izuku says, if I can see him, what makes you think I can't burn him?" Izuku starts burning her hands. Until eventually, he does something unspeakable. He burns away her quirk cells. He burns away her quirk. Not one for all, he just burns away her quirk. Quirk then kicks her away. She then tries to spray more fire on her arms to increase her punching speed and shit, but it didn't work. She then says, "What did you do to me?" Ezekiel says, "Oh, nothing much. I just erased your fire breathing quirk." She says, "What?" Ezekiel says, "You didn't need it anyways. After all, it came from a useless male, remember?" He then dashes in and grabs her leg, started slamming her into the ground like the fucking Incredible Hulk. And then he threw her ass away. Only once she was knocked out and says, "This is over." And Zuka says, "You know what? Just to make you heroes do extra work." He then taps his foot on the ground, burning the entire building down, leaving nothing but ash. Zuka then grins. It says, "Now that was fun." As all the other as the knocked out bodies of the others fall down into the ground. As Shoko's body is embedded into the higher up wall. Katsuki, Katsumi, and Izumi's bodies fall. Izuku says that was quite a show. Anyways, I've won. Bye. All Might then announced that the villains have won. He said that he didn't have to go that hard. Izuku says, I don't care, and leaves. Now we skip to the USJ, which is where I'm gonna quit after the USJ. I'm gonna go on. Then I'm gonna, cause after the USJ, then I'm gonna have to finish this. Blah blah blah. Then I'm gonna tell you why I wasn't doing with this for for like the this past month, cause I know I've been gone for a month, bro, and I was enjoying my summer. But anyways, so Izuku, it says, oh well, it is what it is. So now we go on later on. We go to All Might and Azumi, who are at Inko's house. Azumi's crying her eyes out because she hasn't told anyone yet. All Might just says, Azumi, you have to tell us what's wrong. Azumi looks at her. She looks at All Might. Says he took it. He took away my quirk. Says who? Who took away your quirk? Says Izuku. He burnt my quirk cells. I don't have it no more. All I have is one for all. Says what? But how? How could he do that? Could he be working with all for one? She thinks to herself, says that that brat. Yeah, she's immediately thinking that he's working with all for one, which pisses her off even more. Now we get to the USJ. Izuku's simply just going on the bus. He's not even in the bus. He's on top of the bus. He's made ice. He made basically ice seats for him, Ijiro. Damn, Mino, and what? Injika, I think. Yeah, Injika. So I was just chilling on top of the bus. Suyu didn't have song because she has a sticky line. She says, Why don't you four come in? Suku says, no, why would I do that? I don't want to be in a bus with women. And Jigo then laughs and says, Zuko, you should stop being so sexist. Zuko says, Zuko is about to say something. Then he thought of Katsuki and just smiles and says, nah, it's not sexism if it's true. I'll never be friends with women. Never. He slowly just thinks to himself. Now we skip to the USJ. Once everyone got in, Izuku immediately sensed something and looked down and says, Hey, woman. Aizawa immediately looks at him because she knows that he always calls her woman, which kind of pisses her off since he didn't call her sensei. Hey, but oh well. Says what? Says we have villains and I'm gonna go and fight them. She says no, you will not. I will. It's too late. Izuku already jumped down. Izuku dashes in and starts fighting every single villain, bro. Only using Dinky's quirk. He's zapping around, using Zeus's true sparks. Sparking around, knocking villains out left and right. Leader for Shigaraki to immediately call out the Nomu. It says, "Go and take him now." The moment that she did that and called in the female Nomu, Zuko says, you should have at least put that thing on his shirt. I don't want to see his breast. Yes, it's disgusting. Ew. Says, okay, but she just says, we don't care what a useless smell like you says. Yes, now Nomu, knock him out. Says, wait, knock me out? Why don't you just kill me? Says, oh, it's simple. You see, since you're a male, you have a quirk. That means that there's a possible chance that if we have your children, you will give us powerful children with quirks. Quirks, and we can make a whole army of males and females, wants to rule over the world. Izuku hearing this got pissed off, but he immediately got punched in the face by the Nomu, sending him flying. Although it didn't do much but just piss him off even more. Shigaraki's looking around thinking about what to do. Since Izuku immediately came down, she didn't have no time to split the children up. She says, Kiragira, here, give me that one, right there. The moment that she says him, Izuku got pissed and immediately tried to dash for her. But the Nomu appeared right in front of her, right in front of Shigaraki, and punched him. Izuku doesn't know which one she wants, but every male in Izuku's proximity is under his protection. So Zuko, as soon as she said him, he tried to go for it, but when the Nomu punched him away, Kiragira gave him Injinko. Zuko says, "Don't, no, 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 no." He kept trying to go for Injinko, but then again it was too late. Shigaraka got her hands on him. And Zuko stopped in his tracks immediately, knowing that if he make a hasty move, she'll kill him. Izuku says, "What do you want?" She says, "Just for you to come with me." She says, "Okay, yeah, I do it. Says, "Good. Nomu, knock him out." As she, no, as the Nomu was gonna knock him out, she killed Injiko. Izuku seen it before the Nomu almost knocked him out. But seeing this pissed off Izuku to a high extent. He burst into flames, slimy flames at that. Slimy flames, something never ever seen before. Flames that are solidified as I said slime. I'm stupid. I meant to say pressured flames. But then the flames stopped. And Izuku, his body just started glowing pink, then purple. A dark, mischievous purple. Then suddenly everyone felt pressure as Izuku snapped his fingers. Izuku says, "You see, I don't think you've realized what is going on. You haven't even tried to figure out what my quirk is, have you? Over the years, no one has been able to figure out what my quirk is." Yes. Shigaraki, who's just trying to break on now the mixture, tries to ask him what it is. Izuku says, "My quirk allows me to copy the genetic code of one that is close to me that has died. So any friends that I've had, any brothers that I have that have died, I get their genetic code. You see, you just killed my friend Injika. His sister is Yachako Yoraka. So he comes from a family of gravity manipulators. Her quirk is zero gravity. Injiko's quirk, now that I've copied his genetic code, was supposed to be maximum gravity. Anything he touches will be sent with infinite gravity. But upgrading a quirk to its full extent gives me the ability to control over any and all gravity. You know what that means, right?" She doesn't know what it means until Izuku says, "Let me demonstrate." He snaps his fingers, and the Nomu flings up into the air. An impossible please it looked like it just blinked out of existence. Then Izuku flicked his fingers again, and the Nomu came crashing down. Blink. It looked like a blink as the Nomu crashed into the ground. Izuku says, "Now listen, I just removed all gravity from the Nomu and lifted it up. I just reversed this gravity upwards. And then I just reversed it downwards, maximally. Now, if you see what that does to your creature here that seems to have regeneration, what do you think that'll do to a normal fucking human? Let's test it out now." Zugden does it to every single villain inside of the USJ. He kept repeatedly snapping his fingers each and every time, just to keep repeatedly snapping his fingers. Just to make sure they slam into the ground. He doesn't care how they die. He doesn't care how they slam into the ground. He just cares about one thing. That was that he just cares about how they mercilessly kill his friend. He kept snapping until there's only three people left: Denomu, Shigaraki, and Kiragira, which is already dead. Izuku then looks at Kiragira, says, "Such a shame." And then he sees something. He looks into Kiragira's eyes, but he knows they're not the real eyes, so he looks deeper, and he sees two quirk genes. Huh? Then he sees a face he knows. Obro? But during that split second, they escaped. All without the normal Shigaraki and Oboro escaped. Izuku thought that Oboro died in a school fire. Izuku started shaking, saying, "No, no, 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 no." Clouds erupted in the sky. Since Oboro, if you didn't know, Aizawa's friend that died, I think he was able to like manipulate clouds and shit. And since Izuku basically knew him, it was close to him before he died a long ass time ago, who was his oldest brother. Since Oboro was actually like mid-teens when Izuku was just a kid, Izuku awakened both of Oboro's quirks, his warp gate quirk that used to give him by off on one using his dead corpse, and his original cloud quirk that allows him to manipulate clouds and create them. But doing this, Izuku gaining the full potential of both of them, he unlocked King of the Skies, in essence of the darkness, which is Warp Grace's full potential. Izuku then looks at the Nomu and walks towards it immediately, placing his hand on his chest, and says, "You were a tortured creature. I can tell just by looking at you. This is a sad sight to see. How people would go so far as to using corpses of dead people. It's such a shame. It brings a tear to my eye. Even though you're part woman, even though you're part woman, even you didn't deserve this. Once a body is gone, it's gone. It shouldn't be used after death. May your soul rest in peace." He then burns the corpse to a crisp. He then looks back at all the villain bodies. Some are still groaning and alive. Izuku says, "Nope." He then shoots an orb into the sky. And he uses this is basically Gojo's move, attraction. Left's blue. But he's using the attraction version, the ball, the orb. So he sends it into the sky. And every single villain gets absorbed into it, with their bones cracking slowly, disintegrating and turning to dust until there's none left. Izuku says, "Well, I cleaned up." Izuku then went to Enjiko's body. No one knew what he was gonna do. They just thought he was like gonna grieve and just look at the body. But Izuku fell down to his knees and let out the most blood-curdling scream ever. This pierces everyone's ears. The moment that he screamed, the whole building shook. Izuku's crying over his dead friend, cause every time a male dies, not only does he get their quirk, he experiences the pain they felt throughout their lives. That's the only drawback of his quirk, is to experience the pain that they went through. And that's where I end this what if. I hope you all enjoy, and I'm trying to take these what ifs more seriously now. So until then, and y'all have a great day or night. I love y'all. You don't gotta like or subscribe, since I'm not making money off this. Just get people to watch it so I can know that they're actually people enjoying my what if they're actually enjoying. Like if you actually enjoy the what if, I guess. It doesn't really matter to me. I hope y'all enjoy. Have a great time.